All right, breaking news. Not really. We get enough of that already. All right, today I want to talk about something that I woke up with in the morning. With this idea, it's something that I'm already doing personally, which is this idea of a social show. It could be a podcast, it could be anything really. Um, just to show that you are creating on your behalf for your interests, of course, selfishly, but also serving the greater good. A show that is outside. It may be adjacent to your field. All right, real quick, social shows. What do I mean by that? Social shows to me are essentially online shows that you produce for yourself that allows you to create content, but not by yourself. And the creativity is going to involve some creativity on your part on what that would look like for you. But ideally, it's not something that's directly related to the thing you do or you offer. As an example, first example I'll use is myself. I'm doing the Local Business Legends series within my podcast. I love having conversations, but what better way to have a conversation than with people that are doing some amazing work in the community, not only selling things and providing fantastic services, but also heavily invested in the community. And for me, it's something I really would like to feature. So that's what I'm doing is my social show. It allows me to have conversations instead of me just going on and on about, what marketers do. I'm going to share 5 more examples and hopefully spur some ideas. And I will add, at the heart of this is storytelling and community. Is helping create community through storytelling and recording it. Ideally, you have a camera of some sort or an iPhone, and you put a tripod and you start having a conversation. It doesn't have to be overly produced, but ideally it's something that you can put on a tripod. Now, what are the 5 other ideas that I was thinking about? Number 1, sip and tell. So it's a coffee shop confession booth. What is the format? Let's lay that out. You invite customers to sit down for a casual chat over their favorite drink. Prompt them with fun, open-ended question. And I think this is where you could really have fun with it. It's just a conversation, but you have to prompt people. And in this scenario, it's like, what's a risk that you took that paid off over coffee, right? I think it's a fantastic way to share a story. And they're sitting in your coffee shop, they're lounging, they're relaxing, they might have your favorite mug, whatever it may be, but it's a fantastic way to tell a story. Another scenario, cheers to that. Those are bar stories at night. So inviting your guest, maybe someone that seems to be verbose and loves to have conversations, or perhaps someone that is a regular, inviting them to sit down and have a conversation with you. And what's the prompt here? What's something you're celebrating tonight? What's a moment you'd like to toast to again? Get them to have a conversation. I think it's a fantastic way for these human beings to tell a story, feature them, and ideal scenario, don't even pitch what you're selling, don't pitch your venue, just tell the story, just create this moment and bring community together. Number 3, bump to baby. This is a prenatal studio, yoga studio. I have one in the house where she sits down and talks to people that are also servicing other pregnant women. So these could be chiropractors, this could be breastfeeding consultants, sharing tips and tricks and ideas related to that niche, letting them speak at length, featuring them, and in turn, they're sharing valuable information for pregnant women. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can be straightforward, but the value there would be through the roof. Number 4, 10 minutes, 1 plate. Local deli or lunch spot has mini chats with people in their venue, in their spot. The format is you invite regulars or newcomers to share their last great meal or the story behind their favorite comfort food. That should lead to some fantastic conversations because comfort food and the belly is going to trigger some memories and it's going to be beautiful. And once again, it's going to lead to great conversations. The last one I'll leave you with is chairs and chapters. This is for a barbershop or a beauty salon. And I've actually seen this on TikTok. There's a particular individual that basically offers to give people free haircuts, whether it be homeless people or people just walking by him. And what he did is he just has a conversation with them and he asks questions like, what's something you wish you had learned earlier in life? What's some of your, and this is honestly, all these could be similar. The same thing as with the coffee shop, the same thing as with the restaurant. What are some of your favorite memories from when you were a kid? Ideally, keep it in the positive so that way People can share their positive memories and don't trigger them into something negative. But all these are ideas and ways to create social shows. Where do you publish these? I recommend that you primarily focus on posting and publishing these on YouTube, because it allows you to store and archive your content there that can live forever. You can have a channel devoted to it. Specifically, I have that for my local business legends and the podcast. But you can also publish everywhere, frankly. Anywhere where there's eyeballs, publish it there. TikTok, Instagram, they now allow for longer form videos. Do that. LinkedIn, I'm publishing some of my content there as well. But creating opportunities, creating social shows is a magnificent way for you to continue to grow your brand, and to do so in a way that's not where you're not selling yourself too hard. You're actually just providing a service and creating conversations, telling stories, and creating, ultimately, community. One of the guests on my previous podcast on the local business legends series, and actually shared this with them while talking to them that day, but reiterated because it was top of mind. What if they created a show where they're telling the stories of the people that are obviously taking their products and how it has benefited them? It could be, if you're a coffee shop, it's the same thing. Just sitting down, having some coffee. There is a little, because of the CBD restrictions and what's out there, and I'll get back to that in a second here. Maybe not smoking it or anything like that, but the benefits of it. But the coffee shop, for example, maybe it's just a show at the coffee shop that you have, and they're drinking your coffee, but they're telling stories of life, of struggle. I think those stories would resonate the world, how they could learn from that particular show. I think it's a fantastic idea. I got it from someone else. It's not original, but I like to think that I'm putting my spin on it. Personally, for my local business legends, it's me I'm not even talking about marketing on those podcasts, because I'm talking about the businesses that are out there doing good work in the marketplace. I feel like that allows me to tell stories, to create opportunities for them to be featured. Back to the CBD House of Healing, the idea that they create a show related to health and wellness. Maybe they bring on yoga instructors, they bring on chiropractors, people that are doing this kind of work in that space, as well as people that have taken their products. I think, given the nature of what the space that they're in and where we're at in terms of in Texas, they're trying to outlaw and ban all CBD products, essentially, helping them manage their narrative or control their narrative. Because unfortunately, the narrative that's being put out there is that, for them in this example, is that all CBD, all these, what do they call them? Smoke shops are shady, they're bad, they're not doing good for the community, they're dark, and they're just doing bad things. And I'm not sitting here and saying that there haven't been some bad things happen. I don't know. I will not pretend to know that, but what I do know is that it has helped a lot of people, because I've heard those stories. I hear them every week when I'm networking with Tracy from House of Healing. And I'm hearing the stories of the people in the room and how they've been positively impacted. What if he has those individuals on there? I thought that would be a great idea. It's relatively easy to manage, 5-10 minute shows where he could be talking to them, talking to business owners that are helping, massage therapists, just health and wellness in general, and thus controlling the narrative, because he, and House of Healing specifically, are the anti whatever that perception is and what's being portrayed in the marketplace, or portrayed out in the media in terms of how bad it is and how it's hurting people. It is actually helping people, but there is not enough of those stories being put out there. They have a beautiful place. They're helping people of all age ranges with so many issues. So how about managing that? And I thought it was a good idea. I shared it with them this morning. I also had another conversation with a friend of mine. And I was on a roll this morning, as you can tell. The conversation revolved around him and her, my friend BJ and Mel, who are out there doing some amazing work. And she just won the females national sumo championship, and she's on her way to Thailand, which is crazy. So she's got to get funding to get there. She's got to train. And I thought to myself, and he's already working on this because we had a conversation around it, but what if he does a show where she talks about her struggle? She talks about her successes, obviously. But she creates a show where she controls her narrative, and she can tell those stories. And on top of that, try to drive more membership and awareness to sumo, to the practice, to the sport itself, and how it benefits people, and how it's so old and so much tradition in it, but it still can give value to regular human beings. Her story is fantastic, by the way. I think we need more on that. And my buddy's doing it. He's fantastic human, and takes great advice, and he's got his own intellect. They're doing some amazing things, and I'm seeing the stories that they're publishing. So what I said is, what if you do longer, 3, 4, 5-minute, podcast shows, anything, a show with stories. I'm actually going to share this with my other buddy who took over the Kizomba scene, marketing of the Kizomba scene essentially in Dallas, and tell him to do something similar where we sit down with individuals and talk about, because in another life, I actually organized and helped grow a Kizomba urban kids community in Dallas. And this is a relatively new dance. And it's a bit of a struggle because you have to educate people on the dance and why they should join and what are the benefits and values of the community, especially fighting the narrative that is an overly sexualized dance. So what if we share the stories? And actually, I might encourage him, and I'll sit down with him and share my story and share other stories, because the problem is we don't have enough stories to combat the negative narratives that are out there. We need to fight those. And on top of that, never mind the negative, but obviously share the positive of what your business, your service, your cause is doing in the community. If you're not sharing enough of that and willing to maybe look a little obnoxious, and that's one of the other things, and I'll record another video. I may have mentioned it in another video, but I want to record another one just on that alone. There's this old world perception that if you talk too much about yourself, you're going to come off as obnoxious. You know what? You might. But to the people that is relevant to the people that are in the space to listen to that message or need more information, they're out there Googling, YouTubing more information on that particular product, that service, what's out there, what do I need to know? You should be up there. And the cost that you pay is perhaps being a little obnoxious and being everywhere. But it's better to have that, because otherwise other people are controlling the narrative, or other people are going to make their own decisions on limited information, and you yourself need to be out there. So what does that look like? It could be as simple as I have a DJI, I don't even forget what it's called, Pocket 3 or something. It's a fantastic little device. You don't have to have a big camera, but you can use your phone, set up a tripod, have some decent lighting, and just share a story. Invite people, record them, share those stories, and make it a show. Ideally, sit them down, have a conversation. It doesn't have to be a long podcast. I think a lot of people are tired of those. And although there's value, 5 or 10-minute conversations with one message, one story, one idea that helps them overcome some objections or be more informed, I think goes a very, very, very long way. And it helps you overcome the objections in the marketplace, the objections from that individual. I may have just said that twice. Pardon me. And it becomes for me, it becomes easier to create content. You don't have to just create it in a vacuum. You just have a conversation that you can then chop up. There's plenty of AI apps out there that will help you chop that up. But just have a conversation, and it's no longer just you trying to create something out of nowhere. It's a challenge to sit and do this. Although I'm trying to do this now because I'm highly motivated. I woke up with this idea and I started messaging people. I think I messaged 3 people this morning. And I'm incredibly determined to make this a product offering that I give to people to help them, maybe coach them, consult them on how to make this happen for themselves, set everything up. Because I think we need more of these stories. You need to control your narrative. You need to put out content in the world that helps you be seen, and in a way that's honestly, it's less obnoxious, because you're talking to other people. You're sharing their stories. You're making it about them, and it's not all about you. So that's it. I wanted to share that. Do that with how would I want to say this? Do what you may with that. But I think it's a fantastic idea in this new age that allows you to really, really capture attention and just start controlling the narrative. I've said that way too many times, but it's important. Until next time, my name is Teevee the Marketer, and you've just been informed. Bye!